And Eddie would surely want to work there someday, building cars, he told his friends. But no matter whom he told, the answer was always the same. Eddie should know better. There were plenty of people in line for a job who knew something about engineering, but the plant had all the personnel they needed. Freyer Miller was not hiring. But one day, Eddie got up the nerve to go inside, to approach Mr. Freyer himself. Seemed like a pleasant man. Said he'd seen Eddie come around about once a week on Sundays, wasn't it? And then the gentleman asked what it was that Eddie wanted, and Eddie said, "I want to help you build automobiles. Can I have a job?" But Mr. Freyer shook his head. "I'm sorry, kid," he said. "Freyer Miller is not hiring." But that brings us to the rest of the story. The following morning, Eddie did not report to his usual job. He went instead to Freyer Miller, 7 o'clock sharp. That would give him an hour and a half before Mr. Freyer arrived. Plant manager let Eddie in. "I'm the new boy," he announced. And then he asked where they kept the heavy floor brush and the broom. The manager pointed to a corner of the machine shop, and Eddie went to work. Messiest, most cluttered place the youngster had ever seen. Benches heaped with dirt and machines shavings, floors about the same. By 8:30, when Mr. Freyer showed up, half of the shop was still dirty and disheveled. But the other half was shining, sparkling, eat off the floor clean. Well, Mr. Freyer stood there for a moment. And then at last, much impressed by the incredible contrast, he broke into a broad grin and he said, "Son, you've got your job. You've got your job. But not only sweeping floors. Anybody that determined and conscientious ought to report to toolmaker Schwartz and help him make carburetors." So 15-year young Eddie was going to be building cars after all. And so did two fledglings grow up together, Eddie and automotives. The history of that industry hails him as an internationally renowned, world record-holding race car driver and a distinguished automotive engineer. But American history books honor him as so much more, as a war hero, as a flying ace. But now you know how and where the lifelong love affair began between the seductive whir and purr of fine machinery. That was his world, the world of a small boy destined to make a big difference in that world, Eddie Rickenbacker, because now you know the rest of the story.
Boom! Thought I'd start this morning off with a little Paul Harvey for you guys. I know, it's super duper weird. How you doing? I'm Hat and Beard. This is, of course, the Hat and Beard Show, you guys. Welcome. How you doing? It is 5-5 and the big 2-6. It's Tuesday, which means it's my Friday. Woo! We made it. Didn't think we were going to make it, but we made it. Hey, guys, we got some news and notes from around the league. Yahoo's got some top 10 storylines, including Ty Simpson's Rams career starting and new look for the Cowboys and 49ers. We'll see. We'll see what's cooking. And, I'm not going to lie. It's we're in the very, very specifically, I like to call it the Bount part of the Bount arc of the offseason, guys. If you catch that Bleach reference, you're a dork like me, you guys. I appreciate it. But then we'll shift gears and talk about Lions scheduling. That's kind of the topic of discussion today, kind of around the league. It's really all that's going to be popping off of, what we can look. We have, of course, the teams that we're going to play. We just don't know what the schedule that is going to be. And then, of course, to kind of bookend that, I got to give Mike Payton a nice little shout out here. You guys know I like A to Z Sports, but I do. I admit, look, the guy's got good pieces, man. He's got good articles. Right? He's a good writer. Okay? I like it. The Lions could see a fair dial back in primetime games in 2026. Why he thinks that. I think it's a good article. A good little think piece here. We will discuss that. And then, of course, I do have from DetroitLions.com. Shout out Lindsay Miller. Miller has she's the managing director. Ooh, look at this. Lions offseason questions. New Lions to watch. I think if you guys are paying attention. Sorry if I seem a little distracted, y'all. I've been aggressively trying to find a new career path, and I just got a phone call and a voicemail, so I'm kind of hoping that was the one that I was really hoping for. You know what I'm saying? So if I seem a little distracted, that's why my mind kind of shifted gears elsewhere. But Lindsay Miller has she went through and asked everybody who was the new Lions to watch. Who do you got your eye on? That's kind of what we had the thumbnail boy for. Admittedly, from the more people discuss about him, he keeps popping in articles, dude. Keith Abney, bro. Keith Abney. Is Keith Abney? Did we steal a dog in Keith Abney, you guys? Think about it. Let me know down in the chat as we get. God damn, I gotta get a bigger mat, them plastic mats the roller chairs roll on so I don't sink in the carpet. I gotta get a bigger one. It's not working. This one's not working out. That's why, as I'd be rolling around all over the place. Guys, if you haven't already, subscribe, buttons, things. My brain is totally not where it needs to be running the show. But we're here. You're here. I'm here. We're all here. Let's get it into gear. Let's kick it over to Jocko and get into the show.
If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
Back-to-back missed calls with no voicemail. At least not through yet. Kind of sus. We're going to get through this, though. We're going to get through this. So, what are some top 10 storylines that Yahoo has for us to watch? Jesse Minter is taking over in Baltimore. All 10 new head coaches have a lot of work to do over May and June, establishing a culture and implementing schemes. Not many lead a potential Super Bowl contender. Joe Brady of the Bills is in that category, but his move up from Buffalo's offensive coordinator makes the transition a little less overwhelming. Minter is one of the coaching hires that absolutely new for the Ravens franchise that should still be a title contender. Minter will be implementing his defense on one side of the ball, and he and new offensive coordinator Declan Doyle will be building an offense for scary Sparkle Spice. Jackson, who hasn't always shown up for voluntary OTAs the past few years, was present to start the offseason program this year, which is a positive sign for Baltimore. There's a lot of change with the Ravens this year. Ty Simpson comes aboard. We know that the Rams kind of was like, oh, what are you doing there? Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, kind of shifted gears and threw a big old monkey wrench into our draft board simulations, but the Rams invited an uncomfortable dynamic to the roster when they drafted Simpson 13th overall. Is it though? Is it really that uncomfortable? Or if you go into it with the absolute understanding on all three parties, the coach and the front office, so that's one party, the starting MVP caliber Super Bowl winning quarterback, Matt Stafford, regardless of age, he does put up the numbers. I'm not saying he's at Hall of Fame numbers yet, but we could get to that point eventually, especially with the second Super Bowl. Second ring on Matt Stafford's finger almost guarantees he's going to get in the Super Bowl or into the Hall of Fame, right? But if the idea is like, hey, dude, Ty, we liked what you do, we just didn't want to pass up on the opportunity. You're going to learn. You're just going to learn. If everybody's understanding, like you're going to be Aaron Rodgers, you're going to be Jordan Love. It's been proven to be a very efficient manner of going about business. Every team who has established a veteran at quarterback but drafts a future successor in the first round deals with the same question, only because the media can't see the plan ahead. Matt Stafford's role as mentor will be the topic of conversation in OTAs. Simpson's development will be as well, as Sean McVay juggles handling an MVP quarterback and Super Bowl contender with trying to teach a rookie. Why do you make it sound like it's harder than it is? The Rams can manage the situation, but it has the potential to be a distraction at times. Does it? So are you... Hang on. So you're telling me that Sean McVay is going to struggle handling an MVP quarterback and Super Bowl contender. Sean McVay, who has been to Super Bowls and won Super Bowls, okay, you're saying that he is now suddenly incompetent at coaching, and that again, so has Matt Stafford fallen out of favor now? Are we to assume that because the Rams took Ty Simpson, that Matt Stafford is now Detroit Matt Stafford, farting balls down the field, throwing with his left hand, best case scenario? Is that what we're to believe? Because I'm failing to see your rationale here. You just said he is an MVP quarterback, Super Bowl contender, under the tutelage of Sean McVay, and that somehow everyone's just going to fall apart and not be able to figure it out. That's what you're telling me. I don't understand. I don't understand your rationale here. Will Patrick Mahomes see OTAs? Who cares? He's Patrick Mahomes. Who wins the Browns QB Derby? Who cares about the Cleveland Brown Eyes? Nobody likes Cleveland. What do the Steelers do as a backup quarterback? These are the stories and articles. This is what you're writing about. Nobody cares. No one cares about the backup quarterback job to the Steelers, dude. Are you serious? This is the best you can come up with. Fernando Mendoza starts his journey. Okay, well, at least this is relative to NFL functionality right now. You know what I mean? Usually everyone knows a number one overall pick will start at quarterback by week 1. Do they? Even if the team plays games over the summer by not officially announcing it, but it's just a matter of time, typically. This year, it's a different story. Is it? Is it all of a sudden a big, you're just gonna beat up those drums for a storyline, dude? The Raiders drafted Mendoza first overall, but they also paid Kirk Cousins $20 million for the season. Okay? And you can do that when you have a quarterback on a rookie scale contract. That says the team is serious about Cousins being beginning the season as a starter. Does it? Or are you saying? I think you're saying that. I'm done. Moving onward. Okay, hang on. Patriots want controversy to subside. Do you? Okay, yes. Okay, you want this controversy. The Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini. I typically refer to her in other terms, but we are far too early into the show to be getting all loose lips sinking her ship. But they want to avoid controversy. Okay, then they're also going to trade for A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown getting up to speed. It seems like a foregone conclusion that Brown will be traded from the Eagles to the Patriots after June 1. But yet the Patriots want to avoid. They want controversy to subside. Meanwhile, they of course have Steph Diggs, who's in court right now, and they want to be trading for A.J. Brown. Did Will Campbell's arms get longer during the offseason? A new look Cowboys defense. Okay, this is something here. An actual football paragraph. Oh my gosh, guys, breaking news. We have almost 2 full paragraphs of actual football information, right? The Cowboys needed to complete a complete defensive overhaul and did so on the coaching and personnel side. Christian Parker is the new defensive coordinator coming over from the Eagles, and there are 6 projected new starters as well as a first full season of Quinnen Williams on the roster. Christian Parker is the new defensive coordinator coming over from the Eagles. Okay, yes, this is a divisional rival coach coming over to retool and establish your defense, as you just realize and address. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but this is this is more important. This is we're talking about. Not this. This is woman-coded. Patriots want Diana Rossini. Just like, one of those new starters is, of course, Caleb I have Downs, the 11th pick of the draft, and his rapid development is one of the keys to Dallas' defense this season. Parker is a first-time coordinator, and implementing his scheme will be a big story of the offseason. He insists it won't be the same as the defense the Eagles' defensive coordinator Vic Fangio runs. Right. And so you know what? Here you go. Oops. I don't know. Stop it. There you go. Haha, got to it on time. We just went through this. Did we not? Did we as Detroit Lions fans not just go through the first-time defensive coordinator, how is it going to go for him? Now, they've gone out and acquired a bunch of assets that the Lions maybe necessarily didn't do the same to, although if you look at the way we drafted, I mean, we did take defense in the multiple first-round picks leading up to, of course, the transition of Calvin Shepard leading over to it. But I personally, I just think this is a much more story worth following than Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel. Not that Mike Vrabel and this isn't just a disgusting story, but it's not sports news, right? It's gossip. It's rag information. It's bullshit. It's noise. You know what I'm saying? It's trying to keep the NFL relevant. Well, do good writing. Expand on this. Tell me more. Ask more questions. Dig deeper into the story of what kind of defense. Go ask the tough questions. What kind of defense are you going to implement? Okay, so my response, he insists it won't be the same as the defense the Eagles coordinator, Vic Fangio, runs. Okay, well, what are you looking to do? There you go. Whoa! Oh, my God. Did I just do your job for you? I just asked the $1 million question, or at least a $10,000 question. Go ahead and pay me, Yahoo Sports. There you go. I'd just say, well, what are you going to run? Well, it's not going to be the same. Okay, well, what can we look for? Just ask the question. And if they don't answer it, reframe the question until they go, I'm done taking questions. Be an annoying child. Why? You know what I'm saying, dude? Golly jeepers, fellas. They make mountains out of molehills, and I do not comprehend it. The 49ers' evolving offense. The 49ers began last season ready to rely on George Kittle, Juwan Jennings, and eventually Brandon Ayuk in their passing game. This season, Kittle is coming off a torn Achilles, and that just hurts me, dude. That just hurts me. It hurts me because I like George Kittle. Jennings is an unsigned free agent who is very unlikely to be back. And while Ayuk is technically still on the roster, yeah, he won't be for much longer. Those targets will be going to Mike Evans on a team other than the Buccaneers for the first time in his career. Fellow veteran addition Christian Kirk, second-round pick Dijon Sterling, and Ricky Pearsall, a holdover who needs to stay healthy. There's also third-round pick Kalen Black, who can help perhaps take some of the massive workload off of Christian McCaffrey. The 49ers always have a good offense, but there's a few new faces to get acclimated over OTAs. Again, much more of a storyline worth the last two stories are you gave me 10 stories. We blew past at least 4 of them. There were 2 at the back end of the article that were actually worth expanding on, but other than the rest of it, it's surface level. It's just surface level, guys. How are we feeling about it, Mad Hatter Nation? How are we feeling this morning, guys? What's up, Tampa Lions, man? How are you doing, bro? Good to see you, man. Mr. Figs, what's up, dude? Rick C, how you do? I'm glad you didn't have to drive 3 hours for a 5-minute phone call, dude. Look at how quick that was. American Boxer, what's going on, dude? How you doing, man? Were I an annoying child? Probably, dude. I was a little brother, dude. And a very curious individual. The jet flying, limousine driving, 16-time heavyweight champion of the world, hat and beard. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it, dude. You know how I am, dude. I'm the handsomest. I am the alpha male. I am the supreme number one macho man of the world. You know what I'm saying? Heavyweight champion of the world. You know what I'm saying? Insert all of the Ric Flair takes. And that's the way it is because Hat and Beard said so. Can you smell what I'm cooking? I don't know how. I unfortunately am not a big enough wrestling fan to know any more really catchy takes. Either way, just when the lights go out and the bell rings, I'll appear with a big hat on or descend from the rafters with a cable and bat. There you go. Look at me go. What's up, Tyrone C46? How you doing, brother? Good morning, man. What's up, Sticks? Welcome, dude. Hopefully you're doing well up there. You damn snowback. How you doing, man? Hey, guys, so the Lions' schedule is, of course, to be announced here shortly this month, but we already know the teams that we're going to play, and here's the list of the opponents ahead. Ooh, look at Gibbs, dude. Gibbs about to eat this year. Ja Gibbs, 3K offensive production. Yeah. Ja Gibbs. Guys, Ja Gibbs going supersonic this year. Oh, my gosh, did they just write themselves, guys? Ja Gibbs going supersonic this year. He's going for at least 2,500 yards of offensive production and 25 touchdowns. Ja Gibbs is going to be Offensive Player of the Year this year. Guys, Gibbs is going to be Offensive Player of the Year. Hutch is going to be Defensive Player of the Year, dude. I can already see it. I can see it now. Derek Moore is in competition for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Keith Abney is making plays, dude. Jack Campbell, of course, ends up locking down Defensive Player of the Year. Bypassing Aiden Hutchinson, despite Hutch having 25 sacks. Oh, dude, it's 20. You know what, dude? No. Here it is. It's the big 2-6. It's the year of the big 2-6. In 2-6, we get 2-6. Hutch gets 2-6, 26 sacks, breaking the record. Gibbs goes for 2,600 yards of offensive production and 26 touchdowns. It's the big 2-6. It's the year of the big 2-6, you guys. I can see it. Can you see it now? I can see clearly now, dude. I can see clearly now. Johnny Mo Screens is gone. Our offense is going to go bananas, and Shep unlocks everything with all of the pieces finally in place, dude. It's the big 2-6 in the big 2-6, dude. You've been saying a Snow Kittles versus Chiefs Super Bowl. Snow Kitties versus Chefs. I don't know, man. I don't think the Chefs make it to the Super Bowl this year. They might. Honestly, I think the Chefs can maybe make, like, look, I'm not saying that the Chefs are done. I'm just like trying to maybe temper people's expectations on what's going to happen, considering the amount of offseason that Mahomes is going to miss and then have to. I'm not saying Mahomes can't do it. I'm not taking away from him at all. I would just like kind of go, hey, you know, reality is Kenneth Walker has a bit of an injury problem. Okay, you lost Pacheco. Kelsey didn't get any younger. I don't think your offense or your wide receivers are really that good. Okay, defensively, you guys got better. You're at least, and now, pardon, you know, don't beat me up for it, dude. I don't follow the Chefs as much as like a Chefs writer or fan, right? I don't really like the Chefs. I do not like Andy Reid. I respect Patrick Mahomes. Travis Kelsey can just go and you know, run backwards through a cornfield naked. You know what I'm saying? I do like Kenneth Walker. I respect Patrick Mahomes. I think Walker, as much as I like K9, really was able to maximize the Super Bowl MVP, the run he had in the playoffs. K9 already had a lot of miles on him coming out of college, and he put more miles on him in Seattle. And we have seen that he doesn't necessarily have the most durable body. Now, maybe his touches get reduced, but you guys lost some pieces. I think your defense should be okay-ish. I just think that the Chefs should maybe temper their expectations with the, we're back, baby. We're back. You guys are going to be good. You guys are always going to be good. Mahomes is always going to be good, okay? Patrick Mahomes, yes, actually is that good. I just can't stand Chris Collinsworth constantly glazing him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, we know. We see it, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just think maybe, you know, 10 wins, a wild card. You guys do have to compete with Denver. Denver's kind of on the up right now. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, it is possible for Super Bowl. I think that is quite an undertaking to have happen. Now, much like the Lions benefit from not making the playoffs, of course, the Chefs benefit from the strength of schedule. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you don't see a Super Bowl for a year? No Super Bowl this year for you. Oh, gotcha. I thought you said for years. I was like, I wouldn't go that far, dude. You guys do have talent. You know what I mean? But you guys also benefit this year the same way the Lions do. Look at who our opponents are. When you finish at the bottom of your division, well, by golly jeepers, gee willikers, fellas, you get to play all the bottom of the division teams, more or less, when you go outside your division in the upcoming schedule. So here are the Lions' home opponents this year. And this is not week 1, week 3, week 4. This is just the list of players, obviously, or teams. Obviously, we have all of our divisional games, right? So the Packers, the Vikings, and the Chicago Bears will play them all at home. We will have New England at home. Okay, I like that. I do like having New England at home simply because New England, well, they do appear to be a bit of a circus. Sorry, Butcher, but Short Arms is going to get taken advantage of by Hutch on Hutch's way to like 6 sacks that game, dude. I'm just letting you know, dude, that whenever that game happens, whenever New England rolls into town, not only are you guys dealing with the circus that is, Steph Diggs and Mike Vrabel and possibly A.J. Brown, you guys also are going to have that Super Bowl hangover. Will Campbell's short little stubby arms are just going to get absolutely taken advantage of by Hutch and the defense while Calvin Shepard continues his ascension into the next head coaching role somewhere this year by having just a monstrous defense. I'd expect, Drake May to look at, anywhere from obviously minimum 6 with just Hutch alone, 6 up to 8, maybe even 12 sacks that game. Just getting, just poor boy. That po' boy. It's going to be like that week. We need to come out with a sandwich that's like the Detroit po' boy sandwich, and they just call it the Drake May. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, oh, that po' boy. Oh, po' little tank. You know what I mean? Like, you're just going to feel bad for him by the time it's all said and done, dude. Then the Saints. I like that. Okay. Yeah. Again, not so much of a Saints aficionado. Unfortunately, you guys. The Saints have just kind of been dealing with the ramifications of bad contract, bad money management. We've talked about it before, that they're just kind of reaping what they've sown by mismanagement of contracts. We'll have the Giants and the Jets. Hey, look at that. Both Meadowland teams coming to the Motor City. We don't have to go out to the Jets, Jets, or listen to Big Blue fans carry on and bellyache at us while we just pack their ass with points in our defense and just embarrass them. Poor Aaron Glenn in his homecoming to the Motor City. Yeah, wah, wee, wah. You're going to get taken advantage of. 52 points, probably going to drop the 52 burger on you that week. Looking at, similar to Tennessee a couple of years ago, where it was like a 59 or a 52 to like 0, just belt to ass. You know what I mean? Like hopefully for the Jets, this game happens early on for Detroit so that Aaron Glenn can take the tape that Monday to the film room, to the Jets. They'll watch it. He'll be like, we're going to burn this. You know what I'm saying? But while we're doing this, I really need you guys to see how they just like continuously took the ball away from us. How Kirby Joseph had 3 interceptions that game. How Terry and Arnold had multiple pass breakups and a pick 6. You know what I'm saying? Like how Jack Campbell was snagging an interception, as well as Hutch having 8 sacks that game. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just all these things. Tampa will be a game that it's kind of turning it. Am I wrong, guys, or is Tampa kind of low-key turning into a bit of a Lions, right? Now, obviously, there it is. There is that old, NFC Central rivalry from back in the day. Knock on wood if you're with me. If you're old enough to remember that, smash the like button. Share this around with all of your friends and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. But in case you guys don't recall, there was a time when Green Bay, Tampa, Chicago, Minnesota, and Detroit were all in the same division as the NFC Central. But now, of course, it's been fractured and changed. I think once the addition of Houston and Jacksonville, I can't remember. Regardless, what we have now is, I think, a little bit of a budding rivalry, a little bit of a over the past, at least in the Dan Campbell era. You know what I mean? Not only did we have a couple of good like season games, but of course there was the big playoff win where Tampa came to town and blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. And then Tennessee will be a home team. It'll be good to see it'll be good to have firsthand exposure to watching Tennessee, not a team that really gets a lot of TV run in our media market simply because they're not a seller. They're not a seller. Tennessee, not a seller. But it will be good. I'll enjoy that. I'm a Titans fan. I'm interested to see how, what, and where the team is with Robert Saleh in control. Again, from what I have been able to see of them, you guys know that I'm a big advocate for the air. They're just a couple pieces away. They're a couple pieces away. Although, and I did say that they needed a nice wide receiver to go with the development of Cam Ward. I thought maybe going running back instead of caramel taint in the first round. However, if that's the way the coach wants to go, maybe it works out for him. I felt they were a couple pieces away, though. Tony Pollard can probably still shoulder another load. Tajay Spears a little bit in there. I think Tennessee is going to be a team that is a year away from the upswing. However, it'll be nice to see and witness firsthand. Our away opponents, of course, will be the Bears, Packers, and Vikings. We will go to Arizona, where Lil Spud will have a homecoming, and we'll get to embarrass the Arizona Cardinals on their home turf and show them how a running game is supposed to be established. The Falcons, the Atlanta Falcons, the battle of the very expensive running backs will partake, and we should be looking at a nice little fun game. But, of course, the Detroit Lions going to take a little belt ass down, and Georgia, we'll be traveling to Buffalo. Woo! Hooray! Watch Watch the NFL do something where we have like a 3-week stint of road games. Chicago, Green Bay, and Buffalo, weeks like 14 through 17, and then they do us a favor and finish the year in Miami. Wouldn't that be just awesome? We'll have Carolina and Miami on the road. Not worried about Miami. Buffalo will be a fun game. I'm not saying they're turning into a bit of a rivalry as well, but I'm getting tired of playing fucking Buffalo, dude. I'm getting kind of fucking sick and tired of this shit. Carolina, I do expect to take care of business, even though they're a team that is on the upswing. I do think Dave Canales is doing good things down there, kind of revitalizing, breathing a little bit of life into Bryce Young. But, again, I think we should be able to take care of business. But, this is all speculation and subject to change as things progress. Though I do like the idea of 26 in the Big 2-6, the year of the Big 2-6. Hutch with 2-6, the Big 2-6, 26 sacks. Gibbs with 26, the Big 2-6. Tuggery Dews and 2,600 yards of total offensive production, if not more. That's just the floor. Oh, man, I want more. Oh, my God, I am on a rhyming bender right now, you guys. I cannot be stopped. Can't stop. Won't stop the boogie. Knock on wood. If you're with me, smash the like button, guys, before we get into this next article pertaining to the schedule. But Mike Payton over there to A to Z Sports. Guys, give this guy a follow over on Twitter. Mike Payton, he's doing a lot of work, dude. Lions can see a fair dial back in prime time games in the Big 2-6. You're not going to put us on prime time. Well, buddy, you're going to miss out on the Big 2-6. The Big 2-6 and the Big 2-6. Let's go. Why we think that the Lions can see fewer primetime games nationally televised in 2026, and it won't really be, well, it's not going to be their fault. Well, it is, but it's not. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. It's because we're not playing good teams. like, let's be real. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? Sticks, yeah, I agree with you, Sticks. Shout out Mad Hatter Nation, you guys. Sorry, I don't mean to be ignoring you guys. I feel like we play Tampa every year. Yep, Sticks, doesn't it start to feel like we got a little bit of a rivalry budding down there in Tampa? And on top of that, there's also that, like, when I was a kid, the narrative of, like, the snowbirds from Michigan retiring down to Florida. So I've always felt that there's this, like, segment of Lions fans. Where is he? Where'd you go? Tampa Lions fan. I was like, there is a segment of Lions fans down in Florida. You know what I'm saying, dude? So, but I'm getting a little tired of playing Tampa every freaking year. Why not just take us back to the NFC Central, dude? I don't know the fuck I got an N in there. What you talking about, dude? What injury is blessing is this guy's better draft picks? Oh, gotcha. Hell yeah. As long as Pat is playing KC as a contender. Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah, as long as Mahomes really is that good, dude. Yeah. So, Raw, you think the Bears in Germany, huh? You think the Bears in Germany? I mean, whatever puts the Bears at a disadvantage and further embarrasses Ben Johnson, that's what I'm for, dude. That's what I'm in favor for. Whatever gives us an edge to further embarrass small PP Benedict Arnold, Osama Ben Johnson, the traitor in the Windy City, the happier of a camper hat and beard is. The Lions have been one of the most popular teams in the NFL in the last 3 years. Because of that, they've been featured to the rest of the country a lot. In 25, the Lions had just 5 1 o'clock games all year. One of those was on Thanksgiving. Every other game the Lions had was either a 4:25 nationally televised in prime time or on a holiday. That schedule was a real marathon for players, fans, and those of them, not me, I am not you, in the media. I would never call myself media. Blech, gross. it might be a little easier in the Big 2-6. It's the Big 2-6, dude. That's a Big 2-6, baby. I'm planting my flag on the Big 2-6, guys. I'm very confident in my predictions right now after the Jack Campbell prediction last year, after the Cade Mays acquisition in the free agency, the Blake Miller pick, dude. I am feeling like I got a hot hand, dude. The Big 2-6. The Big 2-6. The Lions scheduled points to have teams having a lot fewer prime time or nationally televised games. For starters, the Lions are playing some pretty bad teams this year because they have a fourth-place schedule. Isn't that what I've been telling you guys? Because we finished poorly, we have a easier schedule, right? Many of the teams that are playing this season either didn't have a primetime game or just had one or two. Here you go. Take a look of all the teams we will be playing this year. The Falcons and Bills had 5. The Panthers had 1. The Bears with 3. The Packers and Vikings with 4. The Saints had 0. 0. Yep. The Bucks with 4. The Patriots 3. The Jets with 2. The Fish with 5. The Cardinals with 2. The Titans with 0. 0. Let that sink in. You getting 0 primetime games. You know how I say that we're in the golden era of Lions fandoms, you guys, or the Lions play guys? Remember when we were getting blacked out? You remember blackout games? Let's break it down a little further. A lot of teams didn't have a lot of national exposure last year. That didn't really get any better. You can make an argument for the Panthers, but that's about it. There are some teams that had a good amount, but probably won't in the Big 2-6. The Dolphins are going pretty much full rebuild and didn't do anything in the offseason. That screams star power. Fiddlesticks. The Vikings are NFC North rivals, but they're pointing towards a rebuild themselves because they're the Vikings. Not only a rebuild, but a rebrand, and feels like 1 o'clock opponents. The Falcons are on the bubble, but they don't have a lot of star power outside of Bijan. Well, you could always talk about the story of how Michael Penix Jr., well, he got impersonated by some douche nozzle. We might watch a Flemlo video about that tomorrow, you guys. Shout out. Make sure you got that notification bell turned on so that you can be notified. Remember, tomorrow is going to be our film study, Wednesday, film study day. We'll be watching something. I haven't decided. We'll pull up something football-related for all of us to learn from. Then there's Germany. The teams that are speculated to be there against the Lions are the Giants, Bucks, and Patriots. Just a hunch here, but the Giants make the most sense. They're going to be an early morning game. So where could the primetime game come from? Well, there's star power. The stories are the Lions and Bills always have a fun matchup. There's a lot of stars. That one writes itself. And then there's Dan Campbell versus Small PP Benedict Arnold, Osama Ben Johnson, the trader in the Windy City. Parts 3 and 4. One of those is bound to be a primetime game. Well, except for the Bears aren't going to win a game this year, so why would they primetime a team that just is 0, has a big goose egg sitting at the number 1 overall pick? Then you have to account for the Thursday night matchup and the up-and-coming teams. That's where I see the Panthers game being. If you're thinking the Lions see no primetime games, that's not happening. Instead of 5, you might see only 3. Then add 2 more nationally televised games with Thanksgiving and Germany. Then maybe throw in America's Game of the Week or 2 in there as well. It'll be a beneficiary of beating, just taking belt to ass to teams and everyone getting high and heavy on us, getting a little bit of that flex out. You know what I'm saying? A little flex out to a little bit more of a viable seller market. You know what I'm saying? How do you guys feel about that? Do you like that? Surprised it didn't change to the Minnesota frauds. Mr. Figs, you spelled that all far too well. You spelled that correctly, so that's not even. You hate picking early. Blackout game, dude. Those blackout games suck, dude. Huge rivalry game to draw up viewership, and it honestly feel like even Keel playing field. The NFL is trying to put those Bears over on us. Playing us in Germany gives them they're the best. Oh, for sure. Hell yeah. The Germans love watching Lions. Well, of course they do, because Amon-Ra has got that connection down there. It's going to be like a home game for us, guys. Honestly, I'd expect by the time it's all said and done, you guys, you're probably going to see a better option for the Lions in primetime divisionally against the Packers than you really will see against the Bears. I don't think the Bears got better. I think there is something going on in Chicago when you look at players retiring, moving, and being traded out. wanting to be released, retiring at a young age, DJ Moore wanting to be traded out. Yo, I think we're right about Ben Johnson being skinny Matt Patricia. He is just a beard and a four-wheeler away from being Matt Patricia. Pretty soon the pencil is going to be in his hat. You know what I'm saying, dude? Small PP Benedict Arnold, Osama Ben Johnson. No, he's no. The Bears are not it, dude. They're not it. They're a flash in the pan last year. I don't think the Bears are it, dude. I think the Packers. I really do think that the NFC North is a two-team race, and in reality, although it didn't finish that way this year, it's the Packers looking up at us, dude. It's the Packers looking up at us. We're Big Brother, dude. I really do think that the division is ours more times than not over the span of when we look back at the tenure of Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, you will see more divisional championships than not. Over the entire span of their tenure. I really think that. I think we are on what could be considered, at least in terms of our, internally, okay? Now I realize that I'm using very grandiose terms to describe what is a outside looking in very, very insignificant thing. But we are in a actual dynasty period of the Detroit Lions based on the moves that have been made, the accolades that have been had, the players that have been winning awards, the payouts that have been happening, the way players want to come here, the amount of wins total, right? The playoff appearances regardless of last year. That's a one-off, okay? Even the greats take a step. Look at the chefs, okay? It happens. Sometimes the wheels fall off. But I think when it's all said and done, we will look back at this time of Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes and Jared Goff, Gibbs, Penne, that this was our quote dynasty period. Now, if we turn that into Super Bowls, multiple Super Bowls, then it's going to be a nationally recognized thing. But I do think we are in the golden age of the Detroit Lions. DJ Moore going to be a problem with Allen. I totally agree, Raw. When I seen DJ Moore when I was like, oh, he went to Buffalo, I was like, oh, that's going to be a problem. I was like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, they got they got a guy who fits exactly Josh Allen's play style. Shit. That's going to be a bit of a problem. Good thing we don't play in their division. Good luck to you, New England. I think DJ Moore's a very talented wide receiver. I've never had a problem with him. The only time I didn't like him was when he played for the Bears. That's because he played for the Bears. I thought he was crazy talented. I think he's a crazy talented wide receiver, dude. So here we go. We're going to finish the day off with offseason questions, new Lions to watch. Tim 20man says Cade Mays is his man to watch. I'm looking forward to the difference Cade Mays makes in the center of Detroit's offensive line. That's right, the man calling the shots. The Lions needed to get younger and more athletic at the spot and did so by signing I'm using this term very loosely, veteran Mays to a 3-year free agent deal. Yes, he is a veteran, but I feel that I don't want people to misconstrue the term veteran for, he's 33-year-old Graham Glasgow, 29-year-old. He's a young guy, dude. I've been using this term a lot today, but he's on the upswing of his career, giving quarterback JG16 for MVP the room to move, to step up, and being stouter in the interior alongside Tater Ratledge and Mormon Oaks could go a long way in making Detroit's offensive line the league's elite unit once again. Hell yeah, got it right this time, Rick. As soon as I got to Christian Mahogany, I was like, I will not fuck this up. I will not fuck this up. Mormon Oaks, let's go, dude. I love that term, dude. I love that you coined that term. That's such a funny term to me, dude. Abigail DeYoung says cornerback Keith Abney's her man to watch. GM Brad Holmes had a 3rd-round grade on cornerback Keith Abney heading into day 3 of the NFL draft. So I'm intrigued to see his impact this season after the Lions selected him in the 5th round. In his last 2 seasons at Arizona State, he showed his versatility and production capability, playing nickel and safety, recording 96 tackles, 21 passes defended, and 5 INTs. Abney should get a great deal of competition give a great level of competition to the secondary and should compete for a role at the nickel cornerback. I've seen a couple articles saying that the more people look at it, dude, they're like, hey, Roger McCreary, you best watch yourself, son. He's coming for you. This guy's about to take your fucking job. He ain't about to take your job. You know what I'm saying? He's coming up from the south, going to take your job. You know what I'm saying? That's what's about to happen, dude. You watch out, dude. This kid, he's hungry, dude. Editor's pick, offensive line, Balake Miller. I'm interested to see if its first-round pick, Balake Miller, can earn a starting role in the Lions' new-look offensive line in the Big 2-6. He showed improvement every year in college, and if that continues in the pros, the Lions could have their right tackle of the future to pair with Penei Sewell, the living human wall, the actual Potty Award winner. Miller has an opportunity to make an immediate impact as a rookie, which will be exciting to watch develop. Hell yeah, shout out. Let's go, you guys. What do you think, Mad Hatter Nation? How you doing? How you doing, everybody? Is everybody doing good? Noticed a few of you ain't here this morning. Hopefully you guys are doing all right. Abney versus Reed. No shit. Hell yeah, dude. Abney might be the only starter out of his class. Damn, Raw. Hell yeah. Cade Mays is a monster who can anchor in front of Goff and get vertical versus the linebackers. Yes, dude. Cade Mays. And that's, I called for us to sign him before free agency started. I was like, hey, Cade Mays is the guy we need to go after. The center coming out of, it's going to be a free agent out of Carolina. That's the move right there. He's on the upswing. He's young. He's athletic. He can get after it, and he sure as hell can. He sure as hell can. That's what we like to see, guys. That's what we like to see. Allen ain't going to have an issue with Moore's ability to freestyle routes. That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying, Raw. DJ Moore had that. So I guess, in my opinion, the three best quarterbacks that DJ Moore could have landed with, I guess there'd be four. Would be Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. I want to say the Air Bear, but I guess when I think about it, I don't have enough exposure to Air Bear to really say if he plays that backyard style of football. So it'd be Air Bear or Lamar, and then maybe Baker Mayfield. That just like you say, freestyling routes, dude. Hey man. Jazz. It's jazz. It's for music. It's jazz. You know what I'm saying? The plays a lot like the Lions, dude. The Lions run more, in my opinion, especially with like Ben Johnson. They ran more of a symphony. You know, very strict, very very by the notes. Everything has to be timing based, perfectly synced up. Whereas like teams like the Bears, or not the Bears, the Bills. Patrick Mahomes, notorious for doing it with the chefs. It's like they're playing jazz out there, just kind of freestyling. You know what I mean? And to that point, just like jazz, you either love it or you fucking hate it. There is no in between. Oh man, everything up the gut. Now replace him with Gibbs. Yeah, dude, that's exactly it. And think about how much poundage-wise, are they about the same poundage, Raw? I'm just going off the top of my head, thinking about Rico Dowdle. Poundage-wise, so I'm going to say maybe I would like to think Gibbs is a little faster than Dowdle, maybe a little bit quicker, faster, top-end speed, a little bit more acceleration. Dowdle strikes me as slightly more physical, though. Am I wrong in that? Mays made a hole. Yeah, and that's exactly it, dude. Like you say, Dowdle up the middle, just a lot of ground and pound. And to that point, the other person who will benefit from that is the guy who is going to be a very quiet producer for the Lions in that nobody's talking about him. Nobody's talking about Isaiah Pacheco. Isaiah Pacheco's the man, dude. Isaiah Pacheco's a very good running back, dude. He runs... Was it you that said it, bro? Or not Raw, Mr. Fig. Was it you that said that Pacheco runs like he's angry at the ground? Oh, what's up, Brent Supreme? If you hate jazz, you're a libtard cuck. Jazz is American and awesome. Hell yeah, dude. Good to see you, man. I was hoping you were here, dude. I didn't know if you were in the chat earlier or not, dude. I was hoping you was here, dude. But yeah, is that a good reference? I think that's a fair reference. Dowdle is a faster version of Demo. That's kind of what I was thinking, dude. That's kind of what I was thinking. Just woke up. Hell yeah, dude. That's what's up, bro. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Pacheco's a beast, dude. He runs like he's angry at the ground. For sure, dude. I absolutely love that shit. Hell yeah. Well, unfortunately, Brent, you just woke up for the end of the show. It's the off season, guys. It's going to be hard some days to go the full hour. Obviously, I'm going to leave you wanting for more. Well, you're just going to have to come back tomorrow, baby. Maybe tomorrow we'll ride you hard and put you away wet. Oh, you woke up, smoked, got some hash, and then fell asleep. Hell yeah, dude. Hey, man. It happens, brother. That happens, dude. That happens, dude. That happens, man. So, have yourself a good rest of the day, guys. Make sure that you got that notification bell turned on, that you subscribe. Tomorrow we'll be having our film room study. I'll find something. We'll watch something. You know what I mean? We'll find something to entertain us while we read some articles, and then do a little watch party with you guys. So, have a good rest of your day. Stay out of trouble. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. I've been Hat and Beard. You've been an attentive audience. Until next time, bunga bunga. Frig off.